following a short 3-hour flight to Indonesia. Our first stop is Bali, and we'll be exploring this island for about a month. Quickly getting through the modern security systems at Bali airport, we jump in a taxi to our first stop in Bali, Uluwatu. Waking up, we hire a bike and head to get our SIM cards for Bali. Passing through the endless traffic, we arrive at the Telkomsel shop. SIM cards all set up, we head to the beach for a sunset. And in the evening, headed for some nice Western comfort food. Today, we head to Melasti Beach. Where we enjoy the turquoise waters and white sands. And then make our way back to our hotel to chill by the pool. Then we go out for a £5 dinner at one of the local warongs.
Today we're off to another stunning beach, this time Balangang. We hired some sunbeds and made a little fluffy friend. The beach started to get so busy as everyone came for sunset, so we decided to head off and back to the local warung for some dinner. Today we're off to, you guessed it, another beach. This one is called Dreamland. This was definitely Tom's favourite beach, and I didn't see much of him throughout the day, because even though he didn't have a surfboard, he still decided to join the surfers in the waves. Watching another beautiful sunset and the beach getting very busy, we decided to head off again to the local warung for dinner. For our last day in Uluwatu, we decided to go back to Dreamland Beach.
feet. Waves they hit the shore. Feeling bright today. I can't ask for more. Heart is wide to see. Dreams are taking flight. Every step feels free. In the morning light, sunshine out so bright, keeps the shadows away. Gonna shout it out loud.
As the sun began to set, we battled our way back through the traffic and filled the bike up with petrol to return it tomorrow. Today we wave goodbye to Uluwatu and our lovely host as we head on a short drive to Sanur. We checked into another lovely accommodation and spent the day by the pool. And got a very cheeky Mackey's takeaway in the evening. Waking up in Sanur, we head to explore the local town. And I got the longest manicure and pedicure I've ever had in my life. After spending hours in the nail salon, it was time for dinner. So we wandered to the local beach and found a nice restaurant. Today, my family are arriving in Bali. So, we checked out of our room and spent what felt like the longest day ever by the pool. Then finally, after a yummy lunch and a flower delivery, we hopped in our taxi to the airport. Of course, we got to the airport way too early, so we killed some time in Starbucks. And finally, after the longest 7 months, we were reunited with my family. Who we will be spending the next 10 days with in Ubud. After finding our driver, we jumped on a traffic-filled 3-hour journey to Ubud. A very long car journey later, we arrived at our villa.
Waking up, we were able to have a proper look around this stunning villa. Located within beautiful rice fields and forests,
We're feeling very grateful and excited to be staying in a place like this.
starting the morning with a workout. We spend the day at the villa,
And then we head out for some local food in the evening.
This morning we explore Ubud town via a walk through these beautiful rice fields. Following a drink to cool off, we go to a temple and get changed into some very sexy compulsory clothes. Then a stroll round Ubud Palace. Next, a visit to the local markets. Grabbing some food and drinks in the town centre, we refuel for our walk back through the rice fields. seeing lots of animals on the way back and also at our villa. We all freshened up and headed out for a delicious dinner. Leaving the girls behind at the villa, I jumped in a grab with the boys to the famous Ubud monkey forest. Then it was time to reunite with the girls at the villa. And then head out for a delicious dinner in the evening. Today we are going to 5 different waterfalls, so we hire a driver and get going. Starting off with the busiest waterfall of the day, Canto Lampo. A very Instagrammable picture opportunity. Which meant it took an hour just to queue for a picture. Pictures secured, we made our way to the next waterfall, Go Ra Reng.
Dreams take me higher into the blue one.
A much quieter waterfall that we had to ourselves for quite a while.
Feel the fire burning, heart made of stone. Ride with the wild wind, chasing the endless light. Stars in the black night, fused to ignite. Passion for adventure, living without a rhyme. Crossing the mountains high, playing with time.
Then it was back in the car and off to Tidby Manor waterfall. We stopped for some lunch looking over the rice fields. And then headed on to Tamansari waterfall. And just like that, we're off to the last one of the day, Suat Waterfall. Climbing down the many stairs to the bottom, I was very pleased to find out that this waterfall has a jumping spot. Leaving the waterfall, it was time to go back, but the journey took a lot longer than expected as we were stuck behind a religious parade. Finally arriving back, we enjoyed a meal cooked for us at our villa. Starting the morning with a workout, and then taking Em's mum for a quick spin on the scooter.
Bye!
We get ready and head out to some beautiful rice terraces, where Em and Harry go on the famous Bali swings. Then we all went for a walk round the terraces. After our rice terrace walk, we went for a massage. Then we ended the day with a tasty dinner and a game of Jenga back at the villa.
We spent the morning enjoying our picturesque villa. Then we walked through the rice fields into town for our jewellery making class. Arriving at our class, we chose what we wanted to make. We then got to work melting down our silver. And began shaping our jewellery. With our designs complete, we polished them off for the finished look. After all our hard work, we went for some delicious dinner. Today, we're going whitewater rafting. We got picked up from the villa and then kitted up at the rafting centre. Then it was a short truck ride and a lot of stairs to the start of the river. Then we hopped aboard and got rowing. With the fun now over, it was back up hundreds of steps to get to the truck. Then we grabbed a drink and got in our taxi back to the villa, where we quickly freshened up and headed out for our last dinner with my family. Today is an emotional one as we say goodbye to my family.
Bye!
After we seen them off, we went back to spend one last day in the villa. Which was strangely quiet without everyone. Then it was time for us to say goodbye to Ubud as we head north to Bedugul. After a 1.5 hour journey, we arrived at our accommodation, which was a considerable downgrade from our luxurious villa.
Waking up in our spacious container, we hire a bike and head out to explore. Our first stop is food. Someone else was hungry too, but didn't seem to like the tomato. Our next stop is the Bali Botanical Garden, where we found a cactus garden and a humongous tree. Finishing with the botanical garden, we head for some strawberry picking. Then we headed for a fancy dinner. And back to our container, where we melted some chocolate for our strawberries. Today, we jump on the bike and head to some waterfalls. A couple of waterfalls and a lot of steps later, we get a refreshing coconut. Navigating through the narrow roads, we arrive at the next waterfall. Eventually, we made it to the bottom of the stairs, and I jumped in the freezing cold water to cool off. Then we headed back up for a local dinner.
Today we're off on a 10-kilometre lakeside walk. It was surprisingly busy when we arrived, with lots of locals using the temple. When we were about halfway round, we stopped to spend some time by the lake and take in these beautiful views. Then we went for a drive around the mountains and grabbed some dinner. Today started early as we had on a 1-hour drive to the beach to swim with dolphins. Because we're up in the mountains, it's absolutely freezing in the mornings, but we soon warmed up once we were back down at sea level. As we were up so early for a change, we got to see all the local children going to school. Arriving at the dolphin statue, we met our guide, got put into our groups, and then found our boats. Luckily, we were only sharing our boat with one person, so we jumped aboard and headed off to find some dolphins. It wasn't long before we saw some, and we underestimated how magical it would be to see them in the wild.
Creatures of my dreams raise up and dance with me. Now and forever, I'm
After a morning of swimming with the dolphins, we spent the afternoon snorkeling with our guide. With the day coming to an end, we made our way back up the mountains and for some dinner.
Today, we say goodbye to our container as we head to Nusa Lembongan. First is a 1.5 hour taxi to the ferry port. Getting our tickets, we queued and boarded the boat. pleasant 30-minute ferry ride later, we transferred to a smaller boat to get to the island. And jumped in a truck to get to our accommodation. And it's one of our favourite yet, a mini villa with a private pool. Spending the day in our villa, we wandered down to the beach for sunset. Today is a beach day. Finding a good spot on the beach, we bought some drinks to secure a sun lounger. And then Em paid a ridiculous price for a hair clip just because she felt sorry for the kids. Then I attempted to head for a snorkel, but was unsuccessful as there's seaweed farms all over this beach. After spending the rest of the day sunbathing, we got some dinner and watched the sunset. Today I'm off on a boat trip to a manta ray spot, but Em isn't a fan of these giant animals, so I left her in bed. Jumping on a truck, I got my flippers and headed to the beach. After a short boat ride, we jumped in for some really good snorkeling. Next was the main event as we headed to a very busy manta point. It was so cool and otherworldly to swim with these huge animals. Back on the boat, we were given a snack for the journey. Arriving back at Nusa Lembongan in the mangroves, we walked on wooden planks to get back to the road. Then I reunited with MZ and we headed out to the beach for a sunset.
Today we're off to Nusa Penida. So we got on a quick truck ride and then a 15-minute boat. We then checked into our accommodation, which had the cutest puppy, and went straight out to explore. Navigating through the busy roads, we arrived at Kalinking Beach. Seeing the state of the people that were coming back up from the beach, we decided not to go down, so we moved on to Broken Beach. Another stunning turquoise water viewpoint. Then we headed back on these bumpy narrow roads to get some dinner. And in the evening we headed to a spa for a massage and nails. Today, we're off to the far east of Nusa Penida to explore Diamond Beach. Making it past the monkeys, we went down the stairs to the viewpoint. After taking in the views, we walked back up the steps and headed back through the mountains to our accommodation. where we headed up to the rooftop to enjoy the sunset, and we made a little friend.
Today is a travel day as we head on a 3-hour boat to the Gili Islands, starting with Gili Tea. Securing our passes, we wait for the boat to arrive. With our luggage on board, we find our seats and settle in to our 3-hour journey to the Gili Islands.